Hello, my name is Humphrey. This talk is about our paper, State of the Art in AAC, a systematic review and taxonomy, undertaken by HCI researchers at King's College London. Approximately 2.2 million people in the UK and 1.3% of the US population experience a form of communication impairment. People with complex communication needs can use high-tech augmentative and alternative communication devices and systems to compensate for communication difficulties. While many use AAC effectively, much research has highlighted challenges. Researchers found that high-tech AAC devices can be frustrating to use, unreliable, slow, and ineffective for certain common communication interactions, leading to breakdowns and misalignments. In response to this, we conducted a systematic review and taxonomy of high-tech AAC devices and interventions, reporting results from 562 articles identified in the ACMDL and Scopus databases. We strongly believe that this systematic exploration of previous literature will help map out the current research space, improve future high-tech AAC design, identify uncharted research areas, and improve our overall collective understanding of the field. To focus our contribution, we initially devised 3 exploratory research questions. To maintain rigour, our methodology followed PRISMA 2021 procedures for systematic reviews. Turning to results, we find that the inputs of high-tech AAC devices have been more diversely explored than the outputs. Mechanical inputs are most prominent. These serve as switches, keyboards, button presses, and even mechanical pointing devices, followed by tactile inputs, which is AAC interacted with via capacitive touchscreens typically. Camera inputs include research which has configured AAC to work with eye gaze, blink activation, and even head motion controlled systems. Turning to outputs, audio and visual changes of the AAC device have been most common for the purpose of communication. Relatively novel recent research has even considered motion as an output for the purpose of communication from the AAC device. We also provide this mapping over time within the paper. From this table, we find a steady year-on-year increase in high-tech AAC contributions. And also from this table, we find a gradual diffusion in the types of input into high-tech AAC. We provide a breakdown of the frequency of applied codes for scalar attributes and interface layouts for AAC. From this, we find that customizable and automatic are 2 of the most popular scalar attributes. In terms of interface, we find that most high-tech AAC interfaces use text and symbols, and these text and symbols are typically displayed in grids in most AAC interfaces. High-tech AAC must be designed to be deployed in different scenarios and contexts of usage. Our coding of this found that devices have been built for typically professional and familial contexts. A smaller number of papers considered high-tech AAC deployment within other settings, such as with fellow AAC users. We also found that limited high-tech AAC offers users non-verbal pathways for communication, and communication rates that were beyond interactive. For contribution types, we found the majority of high-tech AAC contributions were empirical and artifact, whilst in terms of locations of user studies, a substantial proportion of studies take place at home, residence, or school, and nearer in the researcher's laboratory. Participatory design provides a very effective method for directly involving the end users of a technology in the design and development process. However, participatory design methods have not been widely adopted in high-tech AAC papers. From our codes concerning communities, we found most contributions focused on other and motor impairments. With regards to participant groups, people with disabilities feature most prominently, followed by people without disabilities. Furthermore, high-tech AAC research has shown a propensity to engage with caregivers, specialists, and peers. Turning to our discussion, we initially suggest expanding the characteristics of high-tech AAC devices and interventions. This would mean more exploration of AAC inputs and outputs, particularly AAC that leverages camera, gestural, verbal, or contextual inputs. Regarding attributes and layouts, high-tech AAC that is customizable and automatic is likely not enough. Little high-tech AAC is designed to function in group settings, particularly if the communication partner is a fellow AAC user. Researchers must look to test high-tech AAC performance in the very conditions where it will be deployed. Key reasons preventing high-tech AAC adoption include that the devices fail to adapt to contextual environmental challenges. Dataset contributions are comparatively underexplored. We agree with Mack and others that these datasets should be rooted in accessibility research. Our second discussion point is that there should be a reassessment of incumbent research contributions With regards to high-tech AAC research methods, we found no cases of randomized control trials. Therefore, we suggest further RCTs to mitigate against bias and to ensure the clinical efficacy of high-tech AAC interventions. There should also be greater usage of methods in which AAC users are directly engaged and the development process is cooperative. Echoing Mankoff and others, we must as a community actively strive to include end users within the design and development process of AAC. Our third point is that we must engage communities and have greater representation in high-tech AAC research. We implore future high-tech AAC development to directly contribute towards specific communities with CCNs, in particular towards comparatively underrepresented communities within our dataset. Caregivers, specialists, and peers can often work as good communication partners in user studies. Here we have presented and discussed results from our systematic review and taxonomy of AAC. From 40 years of literature, we have identified key pathways for future research and hope our contribution will foster more successful interventions